Hello children, let's come back to our maths class. Before we come to maths class, let's see what are the things that we have completed in our previous class. So we started with our lesson sets, relations and functions. I have told you that this lesson deals with three different topics. One is sets, then relations and functions. So exercise 1.1 dealt with sets. We have completed our exercise 1.1. And now we are just continuing with our exercise 1.2. And in exercise 1.2, I have told you the three things that is about the relations. Under relations, you have to remember the three main topics. That is the types of relation. One was, this is just for your recall purpose, so do not write it in the classwork. Just understand what we have done under relation. So we have seen three types. The first one was reflexive. The second one was symmetric. And the third one was transitive. About reflexive, it's the same thing that gets reflected. It's like A related to A. The same, it deals with the same element, or we can say one thing at a time. Symmetric, it's if A related to B, then B related to A. Or we say A related to B implies B related to A. So A and B. The third one was transitive. A related to B and B related to C implies A related to C. Is it clear, children? So these three types of relations already we have seen in our sum number 1. So we have started sum number 1 from exercise 1.2 and I have told you to write these three. We were explaining all these three relations and we had some rules to present these three relations. Yes, children? So first one was reflexive. Reflexive, A related to A. So remember the definition. The definition is very, very important. Once we are thorough with the definitions, we can go with a sum very easily. Okay, symmetric. Symmetric, two elements like A related to B, then B related to A. Third one, transitive. Here three. There is A related to B and B related to C implies A related to C. See here, I told you the common part is B. So in the answer part, you have to take A and the C. That is A related to C. This is read as related. A related to A. Okay. Similarly, we can read A related to B, B related to A, and so on. And one more thing we have seen is about equivalence relation. Suppose the given relation is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. We say it is an equivalence relation. Okay, so if it's satisfying all the reflexivity, symmetricity, and transitivity, we have to say the given relation is an equivalence relation. Suppose the relation was reflexive, symmetric, but not transitive, you have to say that it is not an equivalence relation. So for equivalence relation, the relation should be reflexive, symmetric, and transitive. So just note down this point. Again, we have to we should be thorough with this concept so that our exercise 1.2 goes very easy. Okay, so now we have completed sum number 3. That is from question number 1, we've completed the first subpart, the second subpart, and the third subpart. The fourth subpart was your homework. Yes, I hope you have completed your homeworks. And some of you are presenting your homework in a very pleasant manner. It was very neat. All margins were there, date was there, everything you have given a proper detail. But in some homeworks, the details are missing. So whenever you submit your homework, mention the details, students. So you have to write the date, you have to write exercise number, you have to write the question number, you have to write the subparts, you have to write the question properly, and then you have to go for the answer. So be careful when you present your homeworks. So for everything, there is a mark. So whatever homeworks you are submitting, we are just keeping the record of it and we are just giving marks for it. So you have to maintain your homeworks regularly. You have to submit your homeworks on time. So let's continue with our sum number 5. So take down your classwork, write exercise 1.2, or just you can just continue, no problem. Already you have that exercise 1.2, yes? So just write sum number 5. On the set of natural numbers, the relation are defined by x related to y if x plus 2y is equal to 1. Take down the question. So remember the different types and let's move further. So exercise 1.2, sum number 1. This is the last subpart from question number 1. So what's the condition given? X related to y if x plus 2y is equal to 1. Read the question. I have told you that whenever we write the answer for this format, we have to follow a format. That is for relation, for reflexive we have one format, for symmetric we have to follow one format, and for transitive we have to follow one format. So what's the rule for it? For reflexive we say statement and the relation form. Yes or no? S was statement and R is the relation. Okay, now what is the statement? Let us find the statement and the relation from the question itself. Yeah, let's go for the statement, children, here. The statement is x plus 2y is equal to 1. And what is the relation? X related to y. But when we go for reflexivity, I have told you that we have to take the same. If I am taking x, I should take x related to x. So now what you are going to do here? So just give the heading as reflexive. Under reflexive, we have two rules. That is, one is for statement and one is for relation. Let's see how to write the statement. Okay, now what is the statement here? X plus 2y is equal to 1. Now instead of y, you are going to change this as x. We are using only one element over here. So statement is x plus 2x is equal to 1. Therefore, 3x is equal to 1. Therefore, x is equal to 1 by 3. So I have just simplified the statement part. That is, the statement was x plus 2y is equal to 1. Now just we are interchanging the y in terms of x. So that because we are following the reflexive part. So when we are following symmetric part, we have to take two variables. If you are following transitive, we have to take 3 at a time. So now here's, it's for reflexive, yes? So just keep the same variable. So x plus 2x is equal to 1. Therefore, 3x is equal to 1. So I have got the value for x, which is 1 by 3. Now, just read the question carefully, children. On the set of natural numbers, so we have to define the relation on the set of natural numbers. But here, I have got a number which is in the form of fraction. That is, it is in the form of rational number. This number is not a natural number. You know what is a natural number? Natural number, it starts from 1, yes, 1, 2, 3, and it goes on. But now the value for x is 1 by 3, which does not belongs to n. So x is 1 by 3, which is not a set of natural number. So now here you have to say x is equal to empty. Be careful when you present the answer. Why I have mentioned here x is empty? Because I have got the value for x, which is 1 by 3, which is not present in the set of natural number. So what's the answer I'm having for x? The answer is empty. Do not write the null in the bracket. This implies that the set is not empty. It has a member 5. Here one member is present, that is 5. So you can write empty set as a null this way manner, or you can just put a empty set. Do not write both the things together, the meaning changes. So what's the value for x? X is empty. So what's the relation you're going to get from here? So I say relation x is not related to x because I have got a value for x. I got the value for x, but it was not from the set of natural numbers. So relation says x is not related to x. So what's the statement, children? Therefore, R is not reflexive. So we have completed the first part of the sum. That is, we have checked for reflexive. And what we have arrived at? We have arrived that R is not reflexive. Okay. Now what you are going to do is, you are going to take page 15. Refer page 15. Have you turned out page 15? Okay. Coming to page 15, just see there the sixth point. Come to point number 6. You can see under illustration 1.4, we have some points. So they have given around 8 points. Now you are going to focus on point number 6. Just see the sixth point, children. The universal relation is always an equivalence relation. So these points will be useful for you to fill your multiple choice questions. Already you have an idea in your 10th standard. So some questions were asked for multiple choice questions. Yes. Similarly, this type of questions, they can change in form of multiple choice. So you have to be clear with the explanation and all the statements. So what's the statement here? If the relation is a universal relation, then we say that it is an equivalence relation. Okay, that was the first point. Now coming to the next point. An empty relation can be considered as symmetric and transitive. This particular point we are going to follow in our sum. So what was the statement? Okay, children, you see here, so what we are going to do is, we are going to follow a seventh point for our sum number 5. That is, an empty relation can be considered as symmetric and transitive. See here, when we have substituted the value for y as x, and when we have solved, we have just got the value for x as 1 by 3, which was not from the set of natural numbers. So we have got the value for x as empty. So now, so what we can say about the empty relation? We can say the empty relation can be a symmetric relation and also it can be a transitive relation. So now, without writing the rule, so we are going to directly mention our answer. You just say here, since R is an empty set, the given relation is symmetric and transitive. So here, no need to prove all the three relations separately. Just we have proved our first, just we have gone through the first part of reflexive, and from reflexive we have arrived to a conclusion that R was an empty set. And since R is an empty set, we say the given relation is symmetric and transitive. So we are following the point from page number 15. Is it clear, children? So just be careful with the points. For some examples or for some sums, we can directly use the properties. So if it is a universal relation, the set will be a equivalence relation. So what do you mean by equivalence relation? The relation will be reflexive, it will be symmetric and also transitive. Similarly, if the relation is empty, it will be symmetric and transitive. And if the relation contains a single element, then the relation is transitive. So only if one element is present in a relation, you have to say the given relation is transitive. So the fifth sum is done. So we just can take the final statement. Therefore, R is not reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Is it clear, children? Yes. So we have completed our sum number 1. Take out the sum. Okay. So before I proceed for the second sum, children just take your subpart 1. That is from question number 1. Just take the subpart 1 and just come to the second point, that is in symmetric part. Have you taken your question number 1 first subpart, children? Yes. Have you taken it? Okay. So in that, the reflexive part we have written, just you have to add 1 point in symmetric. See there, under symmetric, you have written 4 rules. Yes, children? First one was R, then it was S, then we have written again S and R. Yes, children, this is from sum number 1 first subpart. I'm just saying to refer, you have to take back, do not write anything, you have to just refer your sum number 1. The first part was okay. The second part, you have to just add over there one thing. See here, for the first part, we have written M related to N. I have told M divides N. Say the second, I have told you N divides M. Yes? So just mention here, does not. N does not divides M. So N is not related to M. Just mention there, N does not, because, see, I have told you, N divides, yes, I have given you an example, is 4 divides 2, so it was 2. So, here, 2 divides 4, yes, 2 divides 4, that was done. Here, actually we have taken the number, yes, 4 divides 2. So, what happens here, children? So, 2 upon 4, I get the answer. We are able to divide it, but according to the condition, what was the condition? The number should be a positive integer, that is what else. From where you have to get the answer? We have to get the answer in terms of positive integer, yes. So this is not an integer, we are getting a fraction. For the first part, we got the integer. It was 2 as a number, 2 is a positive integer. But about 1 by 2, we are not able to get a positive integer. It divides, N is dividing M, agreed. 4 divides 2 is agreed, but we are not able to get the relation. That is, the relation is defined only on the set of positive integers. So just you have to include N does not divides M. Then remaining everything is clear. So we have written the remaining part, then everything is done. So actually I have explained to you, just you mentioned, because according to the sum, according to the condition, N is not dividing M. That's all. So just have a small change. For the first question, under first subpart, this is under symmetric. Okay. I hope you have done the correction. The sum was clear to you, just we have to mention, because according to the sum, according to condition, it is not dividing. We are not getting an integer. So we have to mention that N does not divide M. Okay. Okay, coming back to sum number 2. Take on question number 2. So you have to speed up, understand the sum, do not wait for others. You have to complete all your study work, all your sums the same day itself. You have got a lot of time with you, so you have to use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Go on solving all the solved examples. Everything has to be done the day itself, so that you will be not feeling like you're having more work. So the day itself you do the work, you'll be relaxed and everything will be clear to you. So whenever you have free time, go with all the definitions, study all the definitions. We have some solved examples, so you have to go through all the solved examples. So be careful. So suddenly we may have a surprise test, so you have to be ready for it. So let's work for it. So do not waste your time. Solve all the sums that we are doing in the class. All the class work should be thorough. You go through all the solved examples also. Do not waste your time. Solve, practice. Practice makes you perfect. So for perfection, you have to practice a lot, so that you can score good marks. Okay, I hope you have taken down sum number 2. So what's given here? Let x is equal to a, b, c, d, and r is equal to a, b, b, AC. Write down the minimum number of ordered pairs to be included to R to make it. One is reflexive, second is symmetric, third is transitive, and the fourth one is equivalence. Let us go with the answer. So just mention here, let x is equal to A, B, C, D. This is very easy sum. So once you're clear with the definition, you can directly write down the answer. The second thing is, what is the relation given to you children here? It's AA, BB, and one more? It's AC. So we have written all the pairs that is given in the relation part. Okay, so I have got two things. One is X and one is R. Now let's come to the first part of the question. Now what's the question? You have to write down the minimum number of ordered pairs to be included to R to make it reflexive, symmetric, transitive, or equivalence. So ordered pair, you know what is the meaning of ordered pair? So this is an ordered pair. There is x comma y, x comma y, x comma y. So this way of representing the numbers is a ordered pair. Now going to the first part. So we have to write the minimum number of ordered pairs to be included to make it reflexive. Now I'm talking about the first part, that is I'm talking about reflexive part. So just mention here reflexive. Okay, now just see here children. It's AC, yes children? AA, BB and AC is given here. So I just mentioned here AC. Okay, now tell me, we have X there, yes? What's X given to you? A, B, C, D. Okay? And just see the relation part. It's AA, BB, AC. Now, which part is missing there? For A, I have told you for reflexive, we need this one element. We are going to consider one element at a time. Yes? So if I take, I get the pair AA. If I take B, I get the pair BB. Okay. Now if I take C, yes, I should get CC. If I take D, I should get DD. So what is the minimum number of ordered pairs to be included? It's CC and DD. So mention here, minimum number of ordered pairs. I'll write the full form. Minimum number of ordered pairs to be included is, again I just tell you, let us go for the definition once again. For reflexive, one element, A related to A, B related to B, C related to C, D related to D. See here, so AA is present, BB is present, but what is missing over here? CC and DD is missing. So minimum number of ordered pairs to be included is CC and DD. So the first part is done. I hope the first part is clear to you children. Yes, here 4 elements were there, 4. So A is there, B is there, C is there and D is there. So we are going to focus on this part. So I have got for reflexive. So we have got the minimum number of ordered pairs to be included. Now let's go for the second part, that is symmetric. Okay, let's see for symmetric. So what was the definition for symmetric? A related to B implies B related to A. So just see here, check here, see here. A related to B implies B related to A. See here, in the previous, for the previous part, AA was present. Yes, children? BB was present. What was missing? CC was missing and DD was missing for the reflexive part. So we have added that. Now we have to check for the symmetric part. For symmetric part, we have to choose 2 elements. Yes? So now here, just see the pair with 2 elements. It's AA, it's a single, so we cannot take this part. BB, again it's single, so we cannot take this part. Now see here, AC is present. Okay, so if AC is present, what is one more pair to be included so that it becomes symmetric? Yeah, AC is there. Yes, so what is the definition for symmetric? A related to B implies B related to A. So here AC is present. So what is the next pair you are going to add over here? It's C, comma A. So write down the point. Right. Minimum number of ordered pairs to be included is AC is present. Yes, children. So you have to include your CA. So minimum number of ordered pairs to be included, CA. Now coming to the third point, that is transitive. So just see your children carefully, just see the relation. We have AA, we have BB, we have AC. So I have a pair dealing with one element, done. I have a pair dealing with two elements, okay. But I don't have a pair which is related to three. Like I don't have a pair which satisfies the condition A related to B, B related to A. Yes, B related to C. We don't have such a condition. See here, I have A, I have A. Don't have, suppose if I have AC, then I should have your CB something. So that I can take AB. Yes, if AC is there, means I should have your CB in the relation. So nothing is mentioned. So we don't have any pair regarding the transitivity part. So what we can say here, nothing to be included. Are you getting this, some children? Because here from it was 1, yes. So I have told, say AA is present, BB is present. So what are the things to be included? So we have to include CC and also we have to include DD. Now from for symmetric, two things to be taken. AB implies B related to AS. So AC was present in the relation. So I can say that CA to be included to make it symmetric. But for transitivity, I have to have some condition dealing with three elements like A related to B and B related to C. But we don't have the pair satisfying this type of condition. So we say nothing to be included. Coming to the fourth part, that is equivalence. The fourth part is equivalence. Now for the fourth part, it's a very simple thing. That is, we are going to just add whatever we have added under reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So just mention here the point. Minimum number of ordered pairs to be included is, what was included in reflexive? CC, DD and for symmetric, CA and CA, because we have not added anything in transitive. So what's the final answer for equivalence? Minimum number of ordered pairs to be included is CC, DD and CA. Clear? It's a very simple sum. Only you have to follow your definition, and once you're thorough with the definition, your sum is done. So thorough your definitions. So we have completed sum number 2. Now sum number 3 and sum number 4 will be your homework. I'm just mentioning here, exercise 1.2, sum number 3, sum number 4 is your homework. We may have some more sums for homework, but still, just for now, we have 3 and 4. So 3 is like sum number 2. For sum number 2, we were given with 4 elements in X. It was A, B, C, D. But in sum number 3, we have only 3, A, B, C. So accordingly, you see what are the minimum order of ordered pairs to be included. So complete your third sum. Now sum number 4. Let's just have a small explanation for sum number 4. See the question, children. Let P be the set of all triangles in a plane and R be the relation defined on P as A related to B if A is similar to B. Prove that R is an equivalence relation. So this is like you have to use a small figure and you have to prove. So see here, just a small explanation for 4 sum, and you are going to complete this 4 sum as homework. So sum number 4. So what are you going to do under sum number 4? Was the relation given? A related to B if A is similar to B. So this is the condition given to you. Yes, children? So now, what have they asked you? They have asked you to prove that it is an equivalence relation. So when we say the given relation is equivalence, if it is reflexive, if it is symmetric, and also if it is transitive. So what were the rules that we followed? The first thing is you have to write here, first part reflexive. For reflexive, what you will write here? Statement and a relation. Statement. See, a statement is A related to B is given, yes, but you have to write here A related to B if A is similar to B, yes. So what's the statement here? A is similar to A. Similar, of course, if I have a triangle A, it is going to be same. The A is similar to A. This one triangle will be same to that triangle. So we can say A is similar to A. So what will be the relation? A is related to A. So what we can say? A is, that is the relation is reflexive. Now for the second thing, what do you say? Symmetric, how you will mention? Relation, statement, statement, relation. Okay, what is the relation? A related to B. Okay, children, they are saying A is related to B. That means A and B, if I have two triangles, A is related to B. When is A related to B? If A is similar to B. Yes, okay. A is similar to B. This is given, yes, A is similar to B. They are saying that we have two triangles. One is A, one is B. And what is the statement? A is similar to B. If A is similar to B, what about B and A? Of course, B is similar to A. So what do you say? B is related to A. So we say here, R is symmetric. Similarly, you have to follow your transitive. For transitive, you have to take one more triangle, that is C, and you are going to write the rule, that is relation, statement, statement, relation, and you have to show that it is transitive. Then you have to show, since it is reflexive, symmetric, and transitive, the given relation is an equivalence relation. So I have just given you an idea how to complete your sum number 4. Now let's go for sum number 5. So take down sum number 5, copy the question. On the set of natural numbers, so we are going to take the relation from the set of natural numbers. On the set of natural numbers, let R be the relation defined on P. Sorry children, let's see. On the set of natural numbers, let R be the relation defined by A related to B. Defined by A related to B if 2A plus 3B is equal to 30. Write down the relation by listing all the pairs. Check whether it is reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and equivalence. Okay, so coming to sum number 5. So we are going to define the relation from the set of natural numbers. So they have given you the statement. What is the statement given here? 2A plus 3B is equal to 30. So first of all, they have asked you to write the relation by listing all the pairs. Here no pairs are mentioned. Yes, only the statement is given. So they have asked you to mention the pairs. So let us make a table and list out all the pairs. Do not make mistake when you copy the question. Be careful, children. So write your questions properly. Okay. Sum number 5. Okay. So let's take the statement part. 2A plus 3B is equal to 30. So now what we are going to do is we are going to choose some values and we are going to write down the relation by listing all the pairs. So let's see here, children. It goes on. I can keep A on the LHS part, or I can keep B on the LHS part. It's of our choice. I'm going to keep B on the LHS part. So what I do is I keep 3B on the LHS part. Be careful with the sum. You have to follow the fifth sum and the seventh sum will be of the same type. So your sum number 7, that is sum number 7 will be the homework. So be careful with your sum number 5. So if you are able to, if you understand fifth sum, you can do your seventh sum very easily. So just focus on your sums, children. So it's 2a plus 3b is equal to 30. I'm going to keep, because two unknowns are there, yes children? So we are going to keep one unknown on the LHS part and one unknown on the RHS part. So this is 3b is equal to what's already present on the RHS part? 30. Now you're going to take this 2a to the RHS part. What's the sign for 2a? It's plus 2a. So when it goes to the RHS, it becomes minus 2a. So you get 3b is equal to 30 minus 2a. I don't want 3b, I just want b. So you just write here, b is equal to 30 minus 2a upon 3. The 3 comes to the denominator part. So from the given equation, or from the given, so we have just got the value for b. What's the value for b? It's 30 minus 2a upon 3. Okay, now what we are going to do is, we are going to choose some natural numbers and we are going to substitute in for a and we are going to get the value for b. So just see, let's take some numbers. If I take, this is just for reference work, do not, you can just, you have a rough column here, yes, you can just try out the reference part in the rough works here. If I take a as 1, just do not write this, just listen to me carefully. If a is 1, if I take a as 1, what happens here? I get 30 minus 2 into 1. That is, in place of a, I have to put 1. So 30 minus 2 into 1 upon 3. So what's this, children? 30 minus 2 upon 3. So it's 28 upon 3. Yes. So we are not able to divide. I don't get a natural number. I will get the answer in terms of decimal. So if I take a as 1, I am not getting the value which is from a natural number. So a is equal to 1 is not allowed. We cannot take a as 1. Let's check for a as 2. If I take a is equal to 2, 30 minus 2 into 2 upon 3. So what do you get here? 30 minus 4 upon 3. So it's 26 upon 3. Again, this is not divisible. Yes, we cannot divide the number. That is, we don't get a natural number. You get a decimal number. So if I divide 26 by 3, I get a decimal number. So again, a is equal to 2 is not allowed. So let's try for the third number. It says, so once we get an idea, we can directly we will get an idea what numbers to be included here. So let's take the number 3. So if I take a as 3, I get 30 minus 2 into 3 upon 3. You see, what are the answer? So on simplifying, we get 30 minus 6 upon 3. So 24 upon 3, which is equal to 8. Yes, I get a natural number. So what's the first number to be selected for a? We can choose the value for a as 3. So once I have got an idea, see here. So number 1 was not allowed. We were not able to get a proper answer if I take 1. If I take a as 2, again I get a decimal answer. So now what are the numbers that gives you a natural number? It's a is equal to 3. So now similarly, instead of taking 4, 5, we can take the multiples of 3. So the next number you can take is 6. Next number will be 9. The next number will be 12. So it goes on. So we have to see till which number we are able to choose. So that was a rough part. So no need to take it. This was just for your understanding purpose. Okay. So now we are going to come for an actual sum. So we are going to start with a is equal to 3. So you should not ask the question, yes ma'am, why we are starting from a is equal to 3? Why we are not choosing a is 1 and 2? So that was the reason why we are not choosing our the numbers 1 and 2, because 1 and 2 gives you decimal answers. So we are just taking here a as 3. So if a is equal to 3, b is equal to 30 minus 2 into 3 upon 3, 30 minus 6 upon 3. So 24 upon 3 is equal to 8. So b is equal to 8. So if A is equal to 3, B is equal to 8. So the next number I told you to choose, A is equal to 6. Try it for A is equal to 6. Give the answer. Similarly, try if A is equal to 9. Similar, try if A is equal to 12. And get me the answer. Have you done, children? Okay, so if A is equal to 6, what's the answer for B, children? It's 30 minus 2 into 6 upon 3. So 30 minus 12 upon 3. So it's 18, yes? 18 by 3, you get 6. So if A is 6, B is equal to 6. A is equal to 9. 30 minus 2 into 9 upon 3. 30 minus 18 upon 3. So it's 12 upon 3. So you get 4. Therefore, B is equal to 4. So A is 9. B is 4. B is 30 minus 2, 12 upon 3. 24 upon 3. Yeah, it's 6, yes. That's 2. So B is equal to 2. So A is 12. B is equal to 2. One more. Let's try for A is equal to 15. Try for A is equal to 15. If A is equal to 15. So B is equal to 30 minus 2 into 15 upon 3. Just we are choosing all the multiples of 3 as children. So you get 30 minus. Yeah. So I get 30 minus 2 into 15 upon 3. So I get the answer as 0 here. Yes. 30 minus 30. That's 30 minus 30 upon 3. So you get the answer as 0. Now you know about 0. 0 is not a natural number. 0 is a whole number. But we are going to deal with the relation from the set of natural numbers. So 0 cannot be included under the set of natural numbers. So now we have to stop over here. And whatever values we have got, we are going to list it in terms of we are going to list all these values as a table. So take your scale, take a pencil, and you have to draw a table. Draw the table neatly. I do not want a rough table. You have to draw your tables neatly using your ruler and pencil. So mention your A, B. We have taken 1, 2, 3, 4. That A is equal to 15 will be not included. This is not belonging to N, okay? So just mention there, it's not a natural number, so I cannot take A as 15. I have to just stop N, A is equal to 12. So we have here A as 3, we have taken 6, we have taken 9, and we have taken A as 12. So just complete the remaining part. So draw the table properly with a ruler and a pencil. Take your scale and take your pencil. Do not use your pen for drawing lines. You have to use a pencil. Okay. Do it fast. Okay. Good. So I hope you have drawn the tables neatly. So let's fill the details. If A is 3, what is the value for B? It's 8. If A is 6, yeah, B is 6. If A is 9, B is 4, and if A is 12, B is 2. I am not including A as 15 because it gives you the answer 0, which is not in a set of natural numbers. So we get the pair. What are the pairs here? 3, 8, 6, 6, 9, 4, 12, 2. So write down R is equal to the first part of the question, that is we have to list out the relation using pairs. Yes, so we are just writing the pairs. So 3, 8, 6, 6, 9, 4, 12, 2. So the first part of the sum, that is 3, 8, 6, 6, 9, 4, 12, 2. These are the required pairs. Okay, so now we have not entered the original question part. The question part was to check whether it's a reflexive, symmetric, transitive, and equivalent. So now we are going to further move to that part. So till here, I hope the sum is clear to you. So whenever you do the sum, just check for one. Don't just go on taking A is equal to 4, A is equal to 5, A is equal to 7, because we know that if one, because already we have checked the first part. We have taken A as 1, we have taken A as 2, yes? So when we have taken A as 3, we get the answer in terms of natural number. So just go on choosing the multiples of 3 and try to fill the table. Okay, now coming to the first part of the question that's been asked, that is checking. And the checking part, we are going to do the first one, that is reflexive or reflexive. So I'll just rub over here. So I'm going to take the first part, that is reflexive. Okay, here simple thing. It's very, very simple to prove this. So see here children, see the pair carefully. We have the pair 3, 8, yes. We have the pair 6, 6, okay. We have the pair 9, 4, done. We have a pair 12, 2, okay, done. But now here see, 3, 3 is not present, yes. We don't have 6, 6 is present, yes. 3, 3 is not present, 9, 9 is not present, 12, 12 is not present. So just, we are not going to mention all the details over here. We're just going to show one reason and you're going to say that it is reflexive. Or for reflexive, you have to show many details. But when you're just showing that it is not reflexive, not symmetric, not transitive, any one condition is enough. So what I will say is, which pair is not present here? 3, 3 is not present. So you say 3, 3 does not belong to the relation, that is to the pair. So 3, 3 is not present in R. So what I say? Therefore, R is not reflexive. The first part under checking is done. Okay. Go for the second. It's for symmetric. Can you give me the pairs to be checked? Listen here, children. See the first pair. What's the first pair? 3, 8. So if 3, 8 is present, what is the another pair to be present over there? Yes, 8, 3 should be present. Yes or no? For symmetric, A related to B implies, that's why I told you, you have to be thorough with the definition. So if A is related to B, then B is related to A. So if 3, 8 is there, so what I should have? 8, 3. Is 8, 3 present over there? No, 8, 3 is not present. So how you are going to write the statement? See here. 3, 8 belongs to R. Done, that's there. But 8, 3 does not belong to R. I don't have, see this definition is not clear, yes. Definition say A related to B and B related to A. A is related to B, okay. But B is not related to A. Therefore, R is not symmetric. Okay. Coming to the third part. Transitive. Let's go for the third part, transitive. See here, children, for third subpart, you have to understand. Just put your pens down and listen to me carefully. Listen. Now, for reflexive, we had a pair, like 6, 6 was there. So I just can say that 3, 3 is not present, 9, 9 is not present, 12, 12 is not present. Because one condition was there, yes, 6, 6 was there. So one from reflexive part was present. So from that, I have just taken one pair which is not present in the relation, and I have just proved that it is not reflexive. Now similarly for symmetric, I have told you that we have to include two elements. So just remember, reflexive 1, symmetric 2, and transitive 3. So for symmetric 2, yes, we have a pair with two different elements, yes, 3 and 8. So I can just say that 8, 3 is not present. So for transitive, now we are going to focus on 3 elements, yes. So if we have, suppose if I am taking 3, 8, if I am just taking this relation, if I take 3, 8, that means some pair should be present with 8, something should be there here. Similarly, if I take 9, 4, something should be present with 4, dash. Similarly, if I take 12, 2, something should be with 2, something should be there. If I am just considering this pair, I should have a pair starting from 8. Similarly, if I take 9, 4, I should have a pair starting with 4. If I take 12, 2, I should have a pair starting with 2. But now what happens in the given relation? In the given relation, we don't have such a pair. That is, if I take 3, 8, I don't have a pair which is starting with 8. Similarly, if I take 9, 4, I don't have any pair starting with 4. Similarly, if I take 12, 2, I don't have a pair starting with 2. So now, we are going to write down here one explanation part. See, just see the step carefully. Okay, so now you can take, I hope that you have focused on what I was explaining to you. So now you're going to write down here, since we are not able, just here I'll mention here, since we are not able to take any particular combination, since we are not able to take any particular combination related to transitive. I'm not able to take any combination for transitive, yes children. So you have to say that it is not transitive, because I'm not able to prove that it is not transitive or it is transitive from the relation. Yes, I'm not able to prove it. So we are not able to take any combination from the relation. So we are not able to take any combination related to transitive from relation. We say therefore we say the given relation is transitive. See, we are not able to take any particular combination related to transitive. Okay, just I'm not able to choose anything. So you have to say that the given relation is transitive, because in the relation we cannot do anything. So I just cannot say whether it's a transitive, or I cannot say that it is not transitive. So you have to say that it is transitive. Just you mention here. So we say it is a transitive. Just you mention here. Not able to take any particular combination related to transitive from relation. That is, we are not able to prove. So not able to prove whether transitive or not. So we have to say that the relation is transitive. So coming for the final part, the question is equivalence. So what will be your answer, children? So you have to say, since the relation is, what about the relation? Since the relation is not reflexive, not symmetric, but transitive. Yes, only the one relation was clear, that is, it was transitive. So it was not reflexive, it was not symmetric, and it is not transitive, but it was transitive. But transitive, we did not take the pair. We just, we were not able to take any particular combination. So just, We are just saying because we are not able to prove, so we are saying that the relation was transitive. Since the relation is not reflexive, not symmetric, but transitive, we say it is not an equivalence relation. Highlight your answers. Not equivalence relation. Here, not reflexive, not symmetric, transitive. So I hope the sum is clear to you. So take down the sum. It's very, very easy. Only the thing is to remember your definitions. Once we are thorough, once we are clear with the definition, the sum goes very easy. Okay, I hope you have taken sum number 5. Now just come to sum number 6. The sum number 6 is prove that the relation friendship is not an equivalence relation on the set of all people in Chennai. So you have to just show that it is not a equivalence relation. So somewhere you don't get all the things to be true. Yes. So this will be a homework. Sum number 6 will be a homework. And also sum number 7 will be a homework. Sum number 7, you have to follow sum number 5. And you're going to come. Sum number 5 is. And you're going to complete sum number 7. So what's the homework for today, children? The homework is sum number 3, sum number 4, sum number 6 and sum number 7. 2 more sums are left out. We'll be continuing in the next class. I hope you have been cleared with all the sums that we have done today. So it's just your practice. Use your time. Do not waste your time. Solve all the solved examples and all the homework sums to be submitted the day itself in a very neat manner. Presentation is very important. Write the heading as homework. Write the question number, write the question, and then you go for the answer. Submit your homeworks properly. Okay, let's meet in the next class.